Hello everyone, this is the video on Scrum Master interview questions and answers. It seems obvious that a Scrum Master should know Scrum. And there are few people who struggle to explain the framework in an interview settings. So I have prepared around 30 questions that can be asked for the Scrum Master interview. So let's move on to the first question. What is Scrum? Scrum is an agile framework that can help the teams to work together. Scrum can enable teams to learn from experiences, self-organize while working on problems, to reflect on their victories and failures, to make improvements. Define the roles in Scrum. There are 3 roles in Scrum: Product Owner, Scrum Master, and Development Team. The Product Owner manages the product backlog, optimizes the value of the product. Scrum Master manages the Scrum process, removes impediments. Development Team manages itself, creates done increments. So these 3 constitutes the Scrum team. Here is the simple explanation of the roles in Scrum. The customer or the stakeholder provides his or her requirements to the product owner. The product owner communicates the prioritized business requirements to the Scrum team, creates the prioritized product backlog, and defines the acceptance criteria. Scrum Master ensures a proper work environment for the Scrum team. The Scrum team creates the deliverables of the project. The Scrum team then demonstrates the product increment to the product owner during the sprint review meeting in presence of Scrum Master. The product owner delivers the business value to the customer or the stakeholder through incremental product releases. What are Scrum Master's overall responsibilities? Ensure Scrum theory and practice is well understood. Removes impediments if the team member is blocked. Ensure the rules of Scrum are not broken. Coaches the team members to self-organize. Works with other Scrum Masters in the organization. And also you can add that a Scrum Master is responsible to arrange different Scrum ceremonies like sprint planning, retrospective meeting, and daily Scrum stand-up calls. What are the responsibilities of the Scrum team? Deliver the chosen backlog items. Attend the required Scrum meetings. Be the part of a self-organizing team. Be transparent and share the progress with the Scrum Master as well as the product owner. Help other team members. What are the responsibilities of the product owner? Maintain the product backlog. Ensure highest value items are worked on. Understand and prioritize needs of all stakeholders. Answer questions of the technical team, that is the future details. Communicate what team will work on next. Differentiate between Agile and Scrum. Agile is the development methodology based on iterative and incremental approach. while Scrum is one of the implementations of Agile methodology in which incremental builds are delivered to the customer in every 2 or 3 weeks' time. Agile software development has been widely seen as highly suited to environments which have small but expert project development team. Scrum is ideally used in the project where the requirement is rapidly changing. In the Agile process, the leadership plays a vital role. Scrum fosters a self-organizing cross-functional team. The biggest advantage of Agile is its flexibility as it quickly reacts to the changes. Compared to the Agile, it is more rigid method, so there is not much room for frequent changes in Scrum. Agile involves collaborations and face-to-face interactions between the members of various cross-functional teams. In Scrum, collaboration is achieved in daily stand-up meeting with a fixed role assigned to Scrum Master, Product Owner, and team members. Agile can require lots of upfront development process and organizational change. Not too many changes needed while implementing the Scrum process. The Agile method needs frequent delivery to the end user for their feedback. While in the Scrum, after each sprint, a build is delivered to the client for their feedback. In this method, each step of development like requirements, analysis, design are continually monitored during the life cycle in Agile. While in Scrum, a demonstration of the functionality is provided at the end of every sprint so that regular feedback can be taken before the next sprint. What are the artifacts of the Scrum process? The 3 artifacts are product backlog, sprint backlog, and product increment. Product backlog is a list that consists of new features, changes to features, bug fixes, changes to the infrastructure, and other activities to ensure a particular output can be obtained. Sprint backlog is a subset of the product backlog that contains tasks focused on by the team to satisfy the sprint goal. Teams first identify the tasks to be completed from the product backlog. These are then added to the sprint backlog. Product increment is a combination of all product backlog items completed in a sprint and the value of previous sprint's increments. The output must be in usable condition even if the product owner doesn't release it. How are the product and sprint backlogs different from one another? Product backlog, anything that needed to accomplish the project vision. However, sprint backlog is needed to fulfill the sprint goal. Product owner owns the product backlog while the sprint backlog is owned by the development team. Product backlog contains requirements, defects, and tasks, while the sprint backlog is the subset of product backlog items defined as priority by product owner. Everyone contributes to the product backlog. For sprint backlog, only development team contributes. Product backlog refinement meeting is to refine the product backlog. Sprint planning meeting is to refine the sprint backlog items. What is the user story in Scrum? A user story is a tool used in agile software development that captures the description of a feature, From an end user perspective, it describes, among others, and the types of users and their motivations. A user's stories creates a simple description of a user requirements. On the bottom, you can see a sample user story. What do you understand by the term sprint? What is its duration? Sprint in Scrum is a time period that can be anything from 2 to 8 weeks in which the team does whatever it can be to develop the software as per the features requirements that the team has committed to. The basic mechanics of sprint in Scrum is centered on it being time boxed to a fixed duration. A 2-week sprint will end in 2 weeks even if all the work the team committed to is not completed. What are Scrum ceremonies? There are 4 Scrum ceremonies. One is the sprint planning. The team meets and decide when they need to complete in the coming sprint. Daily Scrum, which is the short stand-up meeting in which the team makes sure they are all on the same page. Sprint review means that's the meeting where the team demos what they shipped in the sprint. Sprint retrospective, team reviews the work, identifying what they did well and what didn't go as planned. That is sprint retrospective. What happens in the daily stand-up sessions? A daily stand-up session will happen within the team in the same place, same time, and with its time box. The limit is 15 minutes, and the daily Scrum meeting is facilitated by the Scrum Master, and full team presence is needed. And the daily stand-up meeting, the Scrum Master focuses on 3 questions. What did I do yesterday? What will I do today? And what is my way? This is the things that has been asked during the daily Scrum meeting to the team members. Sprint review. The sprint review is the meeting at the end of the sprint to check the increment. And this usually happens between the product owner, Scrum Master, and the team. And in the sprint review meeting, the increment is checked and discussed among the team members, product owner, and the Scrum Master. And also we will check the product owner will check on the done functionalities, updated the product backlog, and next sprint planning date. Sprint retrospective is the meeting after sprint review to review the processes. It is between the product owner and the Scrum team. This happens around 30 minutes to 3 hours. What went well? What could be improved? And how can we improve it? The outcome is that self-analysis on how to work, problem analysis, and improved aspects, framework improvements. What is the empirical process control in Scrum? Scrum is founded on empirical process control theory or empirism. Knowledge comes from experience, making decisions based on what is known. Scrum employs an iterative incremental approach to optimize the predictability and control risk. 3 pillars of empirical process control are transparency, inspection, and adaptation. How are user stories, epics, and tasks different? User stories, they provide the team with simple explanations of the business requirements created from the end user's perspective. Epics. An epic is a collection of related user stories. They are usually large and complex. Tasks are used to break down user stories further. They are the smallest unit in Scrum that is used to track work. A person or the team of 2 people usually work on a task. This includes the development team as well as the testing team. This is the simple example of the epic, user story and tasks. The creation of card page is epic. This is based on the website design. User stories like users can add the necessary items in the cart or users can remove the unnecessary items in the cart. The tasks are: add the page and the link cart on the main website page. Add the button add to my cart after every team. These are tasks. What is velocity? Velocity is a metric in Scrum that is used to measure the amount of work completed by the team during the sprint. It refers to the number of user stories completed in the sprint. What is a burn up and burn down chart? A burn up chart is a tool that is used to track the amount of work that's been completed and to represent the total amount of work that needs to be done for a sprint. A burn down chart represents how fast the working through the user stories is. It shows the total effort against the amount of work for each iteration. What are the main tools you have used in Scrum? You can tell about the tools accordingly that you have used, and I have collated few tools for you, that is Jira, Trello, ClickUp, Yodis, Vivify, ScrumDo, ScrumWise, Nutcash, Axosoft, Zoho Sprints version 1. How does a Scrum Master track the sprint progress? The Scrum Master tracks the sprint progress through different meetings like daily Scrum meetings, Scrum retrospectives, and sprint planning. And other process for the tracking are escape defects, defect density, sprint burn down, and team velocity. How does this? Okay, next question. What is time boxing in Scrum? Time boxing implies the distribution of a set time unit for operation, but the time is done regardless of the outcome. This promotes consistency, predictability, and provides a condition for the examination and adaptations. All the meetings held in sprint in Scrum is time bounded. For example, the daily stand-up meeting, the time box is 15 minutes. Any Scrum case is time packed and doesn't have to stretch like sprint, regular Scrum, etc. What is a storyboard in Scrum? A storyboard in Scrum ensures the transparency in the entire process. It is a visual representation of the progress of a software project, which mainly has 4 columns such as to do, in progress, test, and done. What is Scrum of Scrums? It is the terminology used for scaled agile technologies which is required to control and collaborate with multiple Scrum teams. It is best used in situations where the teams are collaborating on complex assignments. It is also used to ensure that the required transparency, collaboration, adaptation, and adoption are established and to ensure that the products are deployed and delivered. What does the definition of done or DoD means? Definition of done refers to the collection of deliverables which includes written codes, comments on coding, unit tests, integration testing, design documents, release notes, etc. This adds verifiable and demonstrable values to the project development. DoD is very helpful to Scrum while identifying the deliverables and achieve the objective of the project. Next question, what is planning poker in Scrum? It is a card-based technique that can be used for planning and estimating. Cards are used with different values. The estimator and the product owner discuss about the project, and the estimator picks a poker card with the level of difficulty or time they assign to the project. After estimators do this with the product owner, they compare their estimated card numbers. If they agree, then that's the value or the difficulty level that's given to the project. If they didn't agree, then they need to discuss their feelings that caused the difference. After that, the cards are again selected. There is a general agreement. What are impediments? Impediments, that is obstacles or issues that slows down the work. They can be just about anything. The important thing to know is that they slow down work and prevent sprint from proceeding. How is estimation done in Scrum project? The estimation of user stories is done based on their difficulty. A particular scale is used to access the difficulty of the user stories. Some types of scales are numeric sizing, that is from 1 to 10, T-shirt sizes like S, M, L, XL, Fibonacci series 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and dog breeds Great Dane, Chihuahua, etc. What is Scrum Ban? Scrum Ban is the methodology that's a combination of Scrum and Kanban. Scrum Ban can be used to meet the needs of the team and to minimize the batching of work and to adopt a pull-based system. It ingeniously includes the structure of Scrum and flexibility and visualization of Kanban. What is the minimum viable product or MVP in Scrum? Minimum viable product in Scrum is defined as the product with minimum required features displayed to the stakeholders that is eligible for the production process. That's the end of the interview questions for Scrums today. And if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you like the video and if you find this video as useful to you for attending interviews for Scrum, do comment the video and also don't forget to click on the like button. Thank you so much for watching.